song of darkness.
I'm actually really proud of this one. This might not be like...
With all of the chosen people in the world, why am I the chosen one? Protecting chosen boys and girls from choiceless crimes that have been done since Palestinians said, come, you filthy refugees can stay in our houses for free, and none of you have to even pay us back. And when it comes the day that you can make it on your own, let everyone live peacefully gay. Show others the love you've been shown. But one day the Goy came back home and found the locks had all been changed. The Palestinians were blown away and found it really strange that Israeli hunger pangs are fed by Goyim's suffering. Their beliefs are so deranged that their pictures always ring. And although that is enough to bring the hate they so deserve, like ketchup and mustard icing, to say
like
it's just
ketchup and mustard icing.
As the bottom of darkness story, where Hezbollah put it into words how they exploit more kids than Maury.
This song's a journey.
It's the bottom of darkness. Why are they so heartless? You're not very smart if you are a part of this. They're driving us carsick. It's the Bolshevik Marxists. We're swimming with the sharks. It's the bottom of darkness.
I love knowing that there's only one song out there about these
many
pieces of shit.
aspects. It's literally tragic,
And
but also there's
again,
the static. The
I
page
just
runs
love the
to
fact that you have a dumb friar pedophile who goes by Mackenzie that keeps acknowledging that I'm right. It's the pedophiles. That person is a proud pedophile.
By the crude disguise that always gets supplied when you're
Posting fucking pizza emojis and shit. There you go, man. Oh look, pedophile junkies here.
With their ritualistic
hey junkie, what you doing?
Like they're trying to kill them while the doctors give these.
Look, pedophile junkies here, guys. We have a pedophile junkie here. We just have a straight up Israeli piece of shit pedophile. We have a deformed pedophile. Like, can you imagine how fucked up it is for the kid that has to fuck with Brian fucking Wallace? Ugh. Ugh. His weird old shrimpy dick and shit. Ugh. His gross fucking claws touching you. Ugh. That's fucking disgusting,
It
man.
seems like I'm the only hope. I deserve their favor. I should be their holy goat.
Oh, every damn day, exactly. Because they have to. They're terrified of me.
I'm the only one I know who's truly Judaism's savior.
I'm the only one I know who's truly Judaism's savior.
It's the bottom of darkness.
I love the guy that comes here every day and says he doesn't like me.
You're not very smart if you.
I don't like you. I just come to your feet every day and beg for your attention.
We are swimming
Fucking junkies, man. They're so stupid. And the thing is, you know, this guy, he's basically admitted that his father used to rape him. And that's so fucked up. You know? Like, look at what rape does, especially when it's apparent to a child. It creates this junkie pedophile who, you know, can barely put a sentence together. Like his piece of shit fucking father. I hope he dies. You know, I hope. Like James Vanderbeek. Holy shit, James Vanderbeek had fucking anal cancer. Do you know how crazy that is? How do you get anal cancer? What are you doing? What makes the cancer?
Raping little kids turns a boy chicken
to a man.
Sick God's plan involves torturing a child. And where are all the Jews demanding genocide?
I feel right about right in his company. I mean, he's a sick, fucked up piece of shit, man. His father raped him into being like this. That's just fucking disgusting. I always hope guys like that fucking die, man.
April of 2025. It detailed the ritual sexual abuse that is everywhere in Israel.
Like it's just It's insane. It shouldn't be a thing.
Any other news outlets pick up the story?
I need a wire brush to detool. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Demanding an investigation and
It's
the
fucked up,
subsequent
man.
elimination of metzitzia and the unbelievable ritual debauchery.
That's fucked up.
Sincerely, TBG, baby.
Junkie pedophiles, man. You wonder what creates them, and there you go. Like, what a piece of shit. What a horrible piece of shit.
Beat him down, and I'll beat you down to beat him down, and I'll beat you down to beat him down, and I'll beat you down.
I feel so bad for the dude.
Beat him down.
I mean, obviously the fact that it turned him into a pedo, you know, I lose all sympathy for him, but the fact that, like, that had to happen to somebody is just so fucked up.
First of all, Free Jay. He's a hero.
And you would think, especially with the way junkie pedophile acts, that, you know, there was no man in his life. You know, he's clearly got some really, but maybe that's why. Maybe he was young when it happened, and I don't know. I'm not even trying to make jokes about it. I'm trying to make sense of it. And you know, it's like I say, it's fucked up, but it's no excuse. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't like absolve you of what you do. The fact that you know what that shit does to children and you do it too, like, that makes it worse. I think the only person worse than a pedophile is a pedophile who had it done to them. Yeah, not the same. Exactly. You have to be like, you know, you have to be a special kind of piece of shit to, you know, I mean, to just play this role. Like, it's just, it's fucked up, man. You know, his whore mother, you know, his mother was a piece of shit whore. You know, junkie pedo's mom, she had to be a whore. How else would you create such a junkie pedo piece of shit, right? It's crazy. It's crazy. So fucked up, man. But like I say, if we eliminate them, then they don't keep creating more. So definitely, you know, that's the whole thing. Is like, I think it's how you're born. I don't think your pedos are created. I think just like a straight man, a straight person, even a gay person, you can tell when like a kid's a little ladies' man. When he has riz, he's got his riz. You know that. Like, you can see that at a young age. And when a kid's gay, you can see that at a young age. And it's weird too, because, like, you know, not everyone is a flaming homosexual. There are other little things that there are dudes that are gay that you would never fucking know. You know, they're like, I'm a macho man. I like girls leaning on cars. You know. But I think that there's something that, just like we pick up if a kid's gay or straight, there are little signs that show a kid's a pedo. Like, I know a kid who I would assume is going to hurt people when he gets older. Now, maybe I'll be wrong, you know, but he's already exhibited enough behavior to qualify him, right? And so I think the pedos, they recognize it. They pick it up. They see the thing inside the kid that you know, people who aren't pedos don't know to look for. And especially because we see it the way we do, we don't actually like think about things and think about and look at it properly. So I think the pedo hones in on it. And you know, that's why so many people who were violated end up violating as an adult, because they were going to violate regardless of whether they were they were violated. They already had that in them. And yeah, you know, there are pedos that make mistakes. They're just like there are gay guys, like predator gay guys that love to find straight men and try to, like, you know, get them drunk and fuck them and shit. There are going to be pedos that are looking specifically for kids that don't have that, so they can break them. And you have the Mackenzie profile, who is literally talking about Pizzagate equals money. Pizza equals money. Like, it's so funny to me that Junkie Pedo keeps talking about he's gonna find me. He's gonna find me. This guy is admitting to being a pedo. He's admitting that he sells pictures and he trades in you know, child exploitation materials and shit. This guy is admitting to being a pedo, and that's not who you want to find? That's not who you're trying to figure out? You don't want to find out who this Mackenzie... if anybody can find it out, man, I know there are people out here that know how to trace IP addresses and shit. Find that Mackenzie address. I'm pretty sure he's in California, but I could be wrong. But find out who that piece of shit is. Let's expose them for the piece of shit they are, because obviously they're too much of a coward to show their, you know, tell who they are on here. They're all brave and posting pizza pictures and shit, but they're not going to tell you who they are because they know they'd be killed. They should be killed. And it's funny too, because this piece of shit at one point put out a rumor that he had killed himself, Brian Wallace, when he hadn't. He was just desperate for attention because he's a really disgusting piece of shit, right? Oh look, now they're trying to get themselves fucking... They're doxing so they know that'll get them removed. Funny how that works. Oh, everybody, FBI, we are investigating you based on numerous complaints. Yeah, go ahead, go fuck yourself, you FBI piece of shit. If that was true, right? If that was true, then I would tell you to go fuck yourself. Why the fucking Jewish pedophiles that are destroying humanity? Why don't you do that, you dumbass piece of shit? Fucking you guys are disgusting. You're Israeli operatives. You're just, you know. And again, I don't think this guy's really FBI, but the message to the FBI is fuck you. You know, you allow a fucking pedophile to be the president of the United States. You allow fucking Netanyahu to control this country. Who the fuck are you? What kind of special forces are you that you work for Israel, you pieces of shit? Italy moves forward with chemical castration for rapists and pedophiles. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. You know, if you castrate somebody, that doesn't take away the threat. And they're talking about chemical castration, meaning they give you drugs that make your dick not work. It's not like they cut your dick off, which they absolutely should. Run, run, run! Turkey, turkey, turkey. No wild turkeys in this area. It's hilarious. Yep, I'm crashing out over people I don't know. I love when people come on here and act like the guy that thinks we should kill pedophiles is the bad guy. I'm legally obligated to tell you you're being recorded. Yeah, no shit, I'm being recorded. It's called YouTube, you dumb fuck. Anybody can anytime anybody wants to come see my shit. That's what YouTube is. Nice try, though. Fucking stupid. You know, like I say, like you would think, like, I mean, I don't know. I would say you would think that FBI agents would actually be like good people, right? But look at Ted Gunderson, right? Ted Gunderson was clearly an FBI agent through and through, all the way through. Right? He was FBI to the end. And instead of getting people to see the true Jewish problem, he tried to get he instigated the satanic panic of the late 80s, trying to get people to focus on that it's not the Jews, it's the Satanists. It's the Satanists. Oh, they're from Satan. I'm not being investigated, dumbass. Come on, don't fall for that shit. These are just fucking trolls, man. That's not an FBI. Do you think the FBI would come on here and be like, hey, we're looking at you. You've had complaints against you. Yeah. So you're going to tell me so then I don't do it? What kind of dumb shit is this? This is desperation. This is just Israeli fucking, Team Jorge style desperation. I'll go. How's it going, man? These fucking pedophiles, man. It's Junkie Pedo. We have a few characters on here now. We have Junkie Pedo, who comes here every day. We have a lot of different fucking characters that are now obsessed with me. Because I'm wrong, of course. What is there to investigate? Exactly. What could there possibly be? Well, rumor has it you make songs? Apparently. It's fucking stupid, man. Oh, and try to tell me it's because I have hate speech. I'm proud to hate the things I hate. What the fuck is wrong with you, moron? Those people don't understand how to drive. Right? Like you would think, right? Think about this. Somebody's claiming to be an FBI agent. You come on here and you see that there's somebody that is acknowledging Pizzagate. Somebody that is posting pizza slices and talking about how they make money off of the pizza slices. Think about that. That's not going to be someone that the FBI is going to investigate. If you can prove that I'm not your God's plan, then I'll say that's proof it exists. Guy, son of God, born Christmas Day. Parents born summer solstice. By the way, if you hate Israel and the whole Friar narrative as much as I do, don't forget to like, share, and sub this video, man. Apparently the FBI is investigating me, so hell, man, if that's not an endorsement, I don't know what is. Born on Christmas Day. What the fuck? Just like your good book said. Look at all these tombstones everywhere. This is what Detroit looks like. Is this what your neighborhoods look like? All of this used to be houses. All of these empty lots used to be houses. Like, see how they're all close together like this? This whole neighborhood was structured like this. So when I come to the areas where there is no houses, or like this one, they just took it over. They were just like, fuck it, nobody's ever gonna move in. So they just took it over. All of this. This used to be houses. Look at this shit. That's what it used to look like, house after house. So now you have these lots. You can see where the houses used to fit in. Right? You can see how it's all like these people just took over. Fuck it. I'm gonna have this house. Nobody else is moving in. They're not gonna build any new houses. So I might as well just start building. Which is crazy too, because you would assume somebody owns this land. And if somebody owns this land, then they have to pay taxes on it. So who the fuck owns all these tombstone houses? All this tombstone land. Who the fuck owns all this? And they just don't care. Jesus. Oh man, I should show you that. You can't really see through. But I mean, it's look, just nothing. Somebody lives in that piece of shit. Look at this shit. All of this, there used to be a house right there. 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 There used to be houses there. All of this used to have houses in it. These big trees separated the houses. Look at this shit. Who owns all this land? The Jews originally owned it all, and then they left. And they left all of this area just completely alone. They moved out to West Bloomfield and other Jewish areas, and they just left it. Look at that shit. That house is literally falling down. Look at that shit. And then somebody comes in and throws this shit up there for some reason. Like, weird. But it couldn't have cost them that much. Look at this shit. That's what the houses end up looking like. Well, after a while, they end up looking like that. And apparently, nobody gives a shit. Nobody fucking cares. Nobody owns this shit. Oh, look at the FBI agent. The guy that pretended to be an FBI agent, which is actually a crime. Misrepresenting yourself as an officer of the law, or especially an FBI agent, is a crime. And now he's falling apart. He can't keep the lie up. He can't keep the narrative going. They never can. They're just stupid. What the fuck are these? This just dogs out here? Oh, this guy's dogs. Okay. I was gonna say, man, somebody just let their dogs go. Dog's gonna poop. Poop, dog, poop. Look at this shit, man. Look at all of this. So nobody owns this. Nobody owns that house. Nobody's responsible for the upkeep of that house. Nobody's getting fined daily for that house looking like it is. Why not? Look at this shit. Look at this entire shit-ass area. And then what? People are supposed to move out of this? You're supposed to come out of this area and be a productive member of society? Not supposed to sell drugs, not supposed to whatever? Better hope you can fucking shoot a basketball. Because even if somebody's brilliant, it's not going to be upheld. They'll just become like a gang leader or something, because, you know, gang leaders, drug dealers, those are smart people. Especially at the top of the heap. There you go. More and more tombstones. Tombstones. And then this shit. You got this big ass shit. Look at this. Tombstone, 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 tombstone. It's all just empty. So nobody owns that land? There's more. Fuck you, Netanyahu. Fuck all of your miserable craziness will stop you. Fuck you from the top view and fuck you from behind. Fuck all of that chosen bullshit. They fuck you every time. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. This is Brightmoor. It's not Detroit. It's Brightmoor. It's one of the worst areas around here. Look at that shit. Just shit. Just shit. As far as you can see, it's just shit everywhere. It's crazy, man. And again, like, isn't there responsibility to be had? Keep telling you guys, man, it's all the same thing. I mean, I remember, who's going to set their alarm so they can come watch the guy who thinks we should kill pedophiles and talk shit to him? Oh, sorry about your life, bird. Yikes. That bird just died.
Oh, you didn't know? Yo ass better call somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children.
How much do one of those rundown houses go for? At a time, you could buy them up for $1. You know, like 2009, 10, 11, like they were selling houses and shit for dollars and 10, not much. Nowadays the market's gotten stronger, so I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. But nobody's buying them up, or somebody did buy them up, and then we just don't know who the fuck it is. I don't like Israeli war crimes, but I don't hate the Israeli people. Well, you're a fucking moron. They hate you. And Israel is a construct. Israel's not real. Israel's nothing. I'm talking about the pedophile cult. It's a pedophile cult. And maybe you don't understand that their practices are pedophilic. Like their rituals, their main rituals, like metzitzia is pedophilic. But then there's the whole bottom of darkness aspect that you're some dumb, arrogant American. You don't fucking know what you're talking about. You haven't looked it up. You don't know what you're talking about, and then you can just debunk what I'm saying. Your whole thing is that you don't like what I'm saying. So when you don't like what I'm saying, that's supposed to matter somehow. Oh, look at these dumbasses, man. Just dumbasses. Like it's crazy. And the most, disturbing part is always that I'm consistently mentioning we should kill pedos, and these guys say nothing. They don't think that way. They don't say, yeah, you're right, we should kill pedos. They're the worst. Let's end this fucking shit. Let's expose these pieces of shit and end this cult and all that shit. Nah. Belch. And then American. Okay, so you're some other moron. Does that really matter? Did you not understand the point of what was being said? Obviously, you're an arrogant piece of shit. Does that work for you? You're some arrogant piece of shit who acts like he knows more about something than somebody who literally is an expert. You spend over $10,000 or 10,000 hours doing something that makes you an expert. You don't look into this shit. You don't know what you're talking about. And yet you're defending pedophilia. It's fucking horrendous. You sick pieces of shit, man. Well, I don't partake in the pedophilia. Yeah, sure. Anybody who defends this shit, I bet you wouldn't want people looking at your phone. I bet you wouldn't want. I had some dumb friar on here one time. His name was Joey the Friar. He used to come on here and pretend that he was in Israel. So I would be like, turn your fucking volume up so as many of you friars can hear it as possible. But I was exposing all of it, and he didn't have anything negative to say. He wasn't like, yeah, we need to, I'm a proud Jew, but I agree we need to stop these pedophile shit, And after why are you sending me these fucking pictures? He would cry and you're bad. So eventually I was like, dude, obviously you wouldn't want people to see your computer or anything because you're a fucking pedo. And he was like, oh yeah, well I'll pay you. First it was 2,000, then the next message was 5,000, then the next message was 10,000, and it was all in like one message after the next. 5,000. I'll give you $10,000 for your laptop. I have that kind of money. I don't have a problem with that. I have the kind of money. I could spend that with no problem. I was like, all right, cool. Put the $10,000 into the fucking the PayPal, and I'll send you the phone. I don't have an issue. I got nothing to hide. And of course, he fell apart. Of course, the fucking barking Jew was like, because they're just cowards. They're just cowardly, fucking horrible, disgusting pieces of shit. There's no two ways about it, man. What?
Easy till you get up here.
Huh?
Easy till you get up here.
Shut up. Punch you in your face, woman. Stop, stop, stop. And go. Stop. And go. Stop, stop, stop. And go. Get the fuck out of Palestine. Your Brit Malah should be a crime. You know, at the end of the day, I'm better than you. You are very hateful. You are correct. I absolutely proudly hate a supremacist cult that rapes children. Yep. Because like I say, I'm better than you. I'm a better human being than you are. You're a piece of shit. And you're all about your own self, value. Well, does this affect me? Well, if it doesn't affect me, then I don't care. You're a horrible, horrible piece of shit. And I'm better, like I say, I'm just better than you. And I think that probably bothers people, Like, people are funny, right?
I think he's sleeping. Not ours.
No. At the end of the day, what motivates you? You'll never see me on any of your bullshit. I don't know if you make feeds. I don't know anything about you. I don't give a shit about you. You'll never see me there trying to talk shit. If you're a pedophile hunter or something like that, you'll see praise. You'll see me in the comment section praising you. But all you other dumbasses that are obsessed with me, that are motivated by me, you're more obsessed with me than I am. Piece of shit. And you do things for your own personal gain.
Did he just go in the house?
Yeah, you were there when I left, or when I came on.
Hate that.
I hate pedos, want them in prison, but you are being wildly hateful and anti-Semitic. You're dumb. You don't even know what the right anti to use. No. I am proud of my anti-Semitism. Get it right. Because you're a fucking dumbass. The only Semitic people in this whole situation are the Palestinian people. The Jews are not Semitic people. They come from Ukraine.
They're illegal immigrants.
Right.
That took over the land and slaughtered the people that were inhabitants.
By definition. Like, that's what they do. Zionism is their own land with as many of them and as few Arabs as possible. And at the same time, it's not like they're hardworking, so they still need the Arabs around to do all the work. But the Jews come from Europe. The Jews come from, the United States. The Jews come from...
It's not an ethnicity, it's a religion.
Right. It's definitely not a fucking race. But as far as Semitic goes, Even though they've banned all those 23andMe shits in Israel because they don't like that truth coming out. The most recent genetic test showed that 95% of the population there doesn't have Semitic blood. Now, what we're talking about is Semitism. And the definition of Semitism, according to Merriam-Webster's, you know what? You're not going to believe me unless I show you. So we'll, it always turns the brightness all the way down. It's weird. Yeah. So, you know what? Just so there's no crybaby. So we're going to say Semitism. Definition into the Google machine. We're going to pull up the Merriam-Webster Semitism. Merriam-Webster definition, Semitism, blah, blah, blah.
Semitism.
Hear that? We are on the Semitism page. Number 1A, characteristic or qualities. Semitic characteristic or qualities. Number 1B, a characteristic feature of a Semitic language occurring in another language. Number 2, policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. Policy or predisposition favorable to Jews. That's called supremacy. When you demand that the policy, rules and regulations, and predisposition, which is like genetic programming, right? If your mom's family all is predisposed to having cancer, you're predisposed to having cancer. You have a predisposition. If your mom's family all has cancer, you have a predisposition to having cancer. They're demanding that policy and predisposition, genetic makeup, favors them. Our opinions, like it's such an insane word that most people don't know, and then they end up using the wrong shit. But again, this dumbass is on here arguing like they know about metzitzia. Like they've read the Bottom of Darkness article. Israel Hayom Bottom of Darkness article. It's amazing how fucking stupid these guys are. Do you know that 12 tribes? No, none of that shit's real anyway. It's a fake. The entire fucking Bible, like all of you dumbass Bible thumpers out there, you just don't get it. You want some more information? You ready? So this time we're going to pull up good old Wikipedia. Oh, wait, you can't use Wikipedia. Right. I know this. So let's end your arguments before you make them. So Naftali Bennett, go ahead, look him up. Naftali Bennet. He is at this point, he's a former Israeli prime minister, but in 2010, he was just a really high-ranking Israeli officer, Mossad, blah, 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 blah. This is him in 2010 talking to the IsraelNationalNews.com. Let's see what he has to say.
Metzitzia, in conjunction with My Israel, has arranged instruction day for wiki editors. The goal of the day is to teach people how to edit in Wikipedia, which is the #1 source of information today in the world. As a way of example, if someone searches the Gaza flotilla, we want to be there. We want to be the guys who influence what is written there, how it's written, and to ensure that it's balanced and Zionist in nature.
There you go. Balanced and Zionist. Not fair to the Jews, not fair to Israel. Zionist in nature. Everything in Wikipedia is balanced and Zionist in nature. Do you know, it's a quick sidebar here. Look at how many characters on this fucking, in the comment section, are literally saying the same burns to the guy that thinks we should kill pedos and overthrow the Jews, right? That aren't like commonplace sayings, aren't commonplace burns, aren't commonplace whatever. You're a bozo, right? You don't hear people using that reference anywhere else. So now, how many different Team Jorge style profiles are on here right now? Oh, who's Team Jorge? That's what you want to know. Right, let's see. So, back to Wikipedia that we know Israel controls, right? So if we look anything up and it directly has to do with Israel, we know that they had their hands in it, right? So, Team Jorge. Team Jorge is the name given to an outfit of Israeli contractors specialized in the use of malign cyber activities, including hacking, sabotage, and bot farm-run social media disinformation campaigns to manipulate the outcomes of elections. The group was exposed in 2023 after an award-winning undercover operation by journalists from Israel and France as part of a consortium of investigative journalists. That consortium includes journalists from France, Germany, Indonesia, Israel, Kenya, Spain, Tanzania, and the United States. Just so you know. The operation has been active since at least 2015 on paper. 2015, just before pedo fucking piece of shit Trump lost, and then the AIPAC swamp that he swore he was going to drain put him in anyway. Remember? He lost by 2.7 million votes to Hill Dog. After earlier in the year being at the AIPAC policy conference along with Hillary, where they were both, glorified speakers. Neither one said anything bad about the other one and only promised their allegiance to Israel. Remember that? And then, like I say, Trump lost by 2.7 million votes. And then somebody decided that he should win anyway. Yeah, here you go. Let's read a little bit more what it says. I'm sure I'm just a crazy conspiracy theorist, right? And boasts since 2015 on paper, and boasts of having manipulated 33. Gotta love they threw that 33 in there. If you're aware, you are. If you're not, you're not. 33 presidential elections worldwide. Don't worry, white people. Many of them, meaning 4 or more, were in Africa. And in 27 cases with successful results. 27 out of 33 times, this one, just one, because there are many, many Israeli black ops organizations that do the same thing and you've never heard of and have never been exposed by a consortium of journalists like this. But this one Israeli black ops organization is saying that 82% of the time that they try to infiltrate and manipulate a presidential election, they're successful. Just think about that. So if you ever think that, I'm exaggerating or I'm being crazy or whatever, because I suggest that Israel is here, because again, who is going to make a bunch of fake profiles so they can watch me every single day for hours on end, talking shit the whole time, trying to get attention, not getting it. They're actually getting ignored, and yet they just keep going and going. Who's going to do that? Most of those profiles will be like, been a YouTube member for 12 years and they have 1 subscriber. These guys could be doing literally, if these were real people, they could literally be doing anything else in the world. They could be watching anything else. Playing video games, having sex. They could be doing anything. And yet they're here trying to interfere with the guy who thinks we should kill pedos and overthrow the Jews who control everything. Who do you think is going to be mad at me? Could it possibly be the people who are known to do the exact thing and who have literally a Wikipedia page dedicated to them doing this exact thing? Let's keep going. Their activities were revealed. Remember, this is Wikipedia. Anybody can look this up. And you heard Naftali Bennett say that the number one information source in the world needed Israel to come tell them how to do their job because they didn't know what they were doing. And that the reason they did it is because if somebody were to, for example, search the Gaza flotilla, not the new one, the one from 2010, where the world was introduced to Ken O'Keefe. If somebody searches the Gaza flotilla, they want to be there. They want to be the guys that influence what is written, how it is written, and to ensure that it is balanced and Zionist in nature. So when I'm reading you this stuff, you know without a shadow of a doubt, especially when it has to do with Jew stuff or Israel stuff, whatever, it's absolutely what they want us to know. They admit to it, right? And so you have to ask yourself, who is going to be, like, don't you think the FBI would be really concerned with a group like this that is bragging about interfering with presidential level elections using an Israeli technology that nobody else has access to? But I would imagine all of the Israeli military people have access to it. Can't imagine it's just this one group that does. Let's keep going again. Their activities were revealed following a 2022 sting operation in Tel Aviv, of all places, carried out by 3 undercover journalists who posed as prospective clients and filmed their interactions with Tal, T-A-L, Hanan, H. Look, we have Coach Pedos here, guys. Coach Pedo here. Can you imagine finding out that your kid's coach was this kind of pedo? An Israeli fucking piece of shit friar pedo? It's pretty sick. It's pretty fucking sick, but don't worry. He's a coach who's been on YouTube for 10 years and he has 5 subscribers. Totally believable. Totally believable. Because like a coach wouldn't post film of games and things like that then his his players would subscribe to his feed. Nah, that's not how that works. No, that's a real person right there. That's not just another Israeli fucking bot. He's already admitted he's a piece of shit friar. He's already admitted he's a friar. So, personally, again, I don't think Israel even exists. So, let's just consider them all friars, shall we? Oh, let's see. Their interactions with Tal, T-A-L, Hanan, H-A-N-A-N, the group's leader and former Israeli Special Forces operative, in which he explained the inner workings of the organization. He said that Team Jorge has been active for more than 2 decades and has been engaged in propaganda and disinformation activities in more than 30 countries. Interestingly, there are plenty of interviews where Sucker Dick is bragging that Facebook is going after bot farms out of different countries and you know, they got rid of 1,000 profiles out of China and they got rid of 800 profiles out of the Philippines. They're cracking down on bot profiles. Weird. Never once did they mention Israel. Not to mention, these entries, when available, get fucked with all the time. Like there's at the bottom it says see also, and it'll say Black Cube Internet. Oh, maybe this is a different one. If you look up Tal Hanan, it'll then, one of the suggestions will be Troll Farm. You look up Troll Farm, and you'll find a big long explanation, and then it'll give you a list of different countries who have been associated with it. And it was the same for the longest time, and then and I always wondered why there was no Israeli entry. Then suddenly there was an Israeli entry, but it didn't last very long. You know, because Israel doesn't do this. So let's keep going. Because I'm wrong, and I'm crazy. Do 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 do. Propaganda and disinformation activities in more than 30 countries, and it's so well known there's a Wikipedia page about it. How about this? I have 22 viewers and 11 likes with 2,500 plus subscribers. Have you ever seen anything like this before? Normally, if somebody has 11 likes, they have more than 22 viewers. Normally, if somebody has more than 2,500 subscribers, they have more than 22 viewers. And the vast majority of the viewers aren't these Israeli trolls. But, you know, if this all looks normal to you, then don't worry about the like, share, and sub. If this all looks a little strange, like, share, and sub. Help out. Their services have been available to government intelligence agencies, political campaigns, and private companies that wish to covertly manipulate public opinion. This is so well known that it's literally a Wikipedia page, and the FBI who's monitoring me isn't at all involved. Right on, guys. There you go. Thank you. Like, share, sub. Thanks. That was pretty sweet. That was a nice boost there. Take 2 seconds. Click share. Click Facebook. You can even say, this guy's crazy. Come tell him. That's what you need to do, but help. Now, I did say the magic word, so the feed should drop down significantly. Usually that's how that works. But we'll see. Private companies that wish to covertly manipulate public opinion. You ever heard Sucker Dick talk about Team Jorge? The thing is, the Wikipedia page is a great synopsis, but it doesn't quite do the narrative justice. And I'll elaborate in a minute, okay? One of the organization's primary tools is a software package called Advanced Impact Media Solutions, or AIMS. The software automates centralized control of thousands of fake social media profiles across the board. Now, this is where this isn't going to do it justice, because if you start reading the articles, you'll find that, remember that list of all those journalists I read off? All those countries I read off? Nerd journalists in all of those different countries who are working on this say that the technology that Israel is using is unlike anything they've ever seen. Nobody else has this kind of technology. And that it's not fair to call these profiles bots, because they're more like avatars, in that if, you know, the page is, you know, PEDO just like all of us, there's going to be a PEDO just like all of us Facebook page. There's going to be a PEDO just like all of us Instagram page, a YouTube. Like they not only do they cross all of the different platforms, they can seemingly operate each profile like in conjunction with each other. And the best part I purposely left out till right now, is that they claim to be able to create 30,000 fake profiles at any given time. 30,000. We got rid of 1,000 profiles out of China. We got rid of 800 profiles out of Philippines. These guys can create 30,000 profiles at any given time. And again, that's just one Israeli Black Ops organization. If you get 10 of those organizations all focusing their software on, say, I don't know, an Ian Carroll who pops up on social media in March of 2023, having never been seen before that, still can't find anything about him from before that. Ian Carroll pops up. He's got he looks like an old teacher. He's got the Fed mustache. He looks like the part. Pops up in March of 2023, and about a month and a half later, he's on the Rogan show. He has 300,000 following, just like that. Well, where'd they come from? How come he doesn't get censored like I do? How come he doesn't get He's way more dangerous than me, right? Well, at the end of the day, he tells you you can't blame the entire cult because he has some friends that are nice to his face. So that means you can't blame the whole cult. Because, you know, those same friends aren't tearing him apart behind his back. Right? He also says, believe in the Bible. Believe in Jesus. And I literally, it's like I stand there in awe when it comes to a guy like that, right? How could you possibly be the guy that's building the website that can read all the documents and find this and do that, and you're super smart, and you have your hood on because that makes you look cool when you have your hood on for some reason while you're inside. But you can't have your hood all the way on, though, right? Your hood has to be... Your hood has to be just so askew like that. That's the cool way to do it now. Look, I'm doing a live feed inside my house. I have my hood on, but it's only like halfway on my head. It just happens to work out this way every time, or do you think he does that on purpose because that's his look? Can you show the reasons? No, I can't. Find it. Look it up. Look it up. You don't think I'm providing you with enough information? You don't think I'm giving you way more information than you're aware of? Whether it's the Havara agreement or it's the auto emancipation pamphlet. Let's see. Belch. Claims that 95% of Israelis lack Semitic DNA are inaccurate according to genetic studies. Research indicates Ashkenazi Jews, for example, share substantial ancestry with Middle Eastern populations alongside European ancestry. I mean, do you see how they're saying it? They're not saying it's false, it's categorically false. They're saying that's inaccurate because some of them have some connections in some ways, even though all of those people have European also DNA. They have some connections to so many of them came back 1%. They're 1%. United States of Israel, exactly. Studies generally show an approximately even mix or significant, rather than negligible, Levantine Middle Eastern roots in Jewish populations. That's fucking silly, man. Let's see. DNA Never Lies. This is by Keghart. After suffering almost mortal PR hits for more than a year, Israel is now further hammered by 3 shiny nails. A Johns Hopkins genetic study has concluded that 97.5% of Judaica living in the Zionist settlement known as Israel have no connection to the ancient Hebrews, and neither do they have blood ties to ancient Israel. The study also pointed out that 80% of the Palestinians carry ancient Hebrew DNA and blood. So this is the Leg Heart organization, but
Don't forget your tea.
I'm not. I've been drinking it, you crazy woman.
It's pretty full, that's why I said that.
Another study, New York Genome Center 2021, revealed that the DNA of modern Palestinians matches that of Bronze Age people who lived in the Holy Land around 2500 to 1700 BCE. So when we start getting into those claims, like, that shit's just dumb. I took a DNA test and found out that I'm part Jewish. Yeah, they said that a lot, actually. There was this controversy that came up because so many people who know that they don't have any Jewish blood were getting their DNA test that came back saying they were like 1 or 2% Jewish, which isn't a thing. Do you understand that? Saying that you're 1 or 2% Jewish is like saying you're 3% Catholic. You know, what the fuck are we talking about there? It's really a fucking dumb bunch of shit, right? A third study, Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, strongly backed the Khazarian hypothesis as opposed to the Rhineland hypothesis of European Jewish Ashkenazi origin. The mendacious Rhineland hypothesis claims European Jews descend from the Israelite Canaanite tribes who left Palestine for Europe when Arabs conquered Palestine in the 7th century. In the 15th century, some of these 50,000 Jews left Germany for the Far East. Right. I love that idea. The distance between Germany and you know, the promised land of Israel, you're talking like 1,500 miles. These people were just walking that shit back in the day. Let's just walk. They love pretending like the Jews were always these these people able to cover great distances. But, you know, I mean, again, I think at this point, now I have 13 viewers and 16 likes. Totally makes sense. I think at this point, there's like two schools of thought, right? At this point, you're either someone that's questioning the old world Tartaria narrative, or you're not. Right? It's just, that's it. And the not people are, to me, dumb as fuck. Right? You have to be stupid as shit to believe that the Empire State Building was built in 400 days in 1931. Or that the Pentagon is my favorite, and nobody talks about it. Kind of makes you step back and think, like, all of the Tartaria, the My Lunch Breaks, the Lucius Aureliuses, the old world secrets of the world. They try to get you to focus on everything but the Pentagon. And really, the Pentagon is one of the most incredible buildings ever constructed. You know, we're not talking about, you know, a palace that clearly was you know, prefab back in the day. They could make the same fucking palace everywhere in the United States, the Capitol buildings and shit. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a completely unique building, like nothing else. There's nothing else in the world that's even close to the Pentagon. And yet, all of these potential agents, well, you know, look it up, man. Look up on YouTube, Pentagon Tartaria, and see if any videos but mine come up. And if you can believe that they built the Pentagon from 1941, from September 11th, 1941, meaning the attacks were the 60th anniversary, not the 59th and not the 61st, the 60th anniversary of construction, where they selected the site for the Pentagon 9 days beforehand and were able to draw up all the plans, get all of the permits and everything in working order, get all of the materials and stuff, or all of it, so they can sign the final documents and break ground on September 11th, 1941, and they build the whole thing by January of 1943. January 20th or some shit. It's roughly 15, 16 months if you include the planning and shit. It took them a year to repair the damage from the 9/11 attacks. One little section was damaged. The Pentagon is 7 stories, 5 above ground, 2 below. 2 below. 2 below. 5 above and 2 below. So they were able to dig it all out, pour the 2 basements, because you wouldn't be able to do the rest of the building until the basements were finished. The basement and the sub-basement. They were able to pour the basements and build the whole thing in 15 months or so, and it took just over 12 months to repair it. Do you believe that? Not to mention, there's no construction photos. Right? There's no construction photos. Man, look it up. Who gonna lend you a guy and doesn't have a house, barely has a car, no wife, and probably thousands behind in child support? Wow. Who do you think is going to get so upset about me talking about this stuff that they're going to say that kind of stupid shit, like obviously stupid shit, right? Sounds like I'm really hitting a nerve with him, huh? Sounds like he's really upset about what I'm saying. Gee, I wonder who that is. Gee, I wonder if that's a fucking small hat piece of shit friar. Pedo. And so that being said, something as recent as the Pentagon not making any sense. If you believe what they tell you happened 3,000 years ago, you're a moron. But somehow they made it up approximately 15,000 miles to Ukraine. Yeah, clearly the narrative we're told just doesn't make sense. It's either we were very advanced and something happened, like you just can't have the structural and infrastructure, but buildings, and you can't have the history that we clearly have, and that matches, the history we're given. Nobody is dumb enough to think they built the Pentagon in a little over a year. How did the concrete dry? How does the concrete dry? How do people walk 1,500 miles? Friars walking 1,500 miles. But see, at the same time, they tell you, like, without like one of the main aspects of friarism is Exodus. Without the Exodus story, you can't have Judaism. They don't work. But even modern scholarship across the board goes, yeah, well, Exodus isn't real. It's impossible. You don't have 3 million people wandering around the desert for 40 years. That doesn't make any sense. Augo says, so the Jews wandered around the desert for 40 years looking for Israel after Egypt kicked them out. Distance of less than 500 miles. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Yeah, I didn't see that other one though, huh? I don't even know what happened 100 years ago at this point. Forget 1,000 years ago. And that's it. That's the thing. You know, none of you are arrogant enough to honestly say, like, you know, you can't think of local buildings, churches, cathedrals, whatever, that completely defy the explanation. You live in this. You live it. Everywhere you live, there are tunnel systems all over the place. The lighting systems, the sewer systems, the gas systems. You know, this house was built in the 50s, early 50s. What were they doing? How were they boring through all of the ground underneath and the sewer systems and making it all line up properly? And I mean, this is incredible, incredible construction. Belch. You know, the New York subway system was conceived in 1894, and by 1904, they were opening it up. You ever seen the videos where people, there's this one video I saw where this guy's, the caption was like, how deep am I? So he gets out of the subway car, and he goes to the first escalator, and it's like a double escalator. It's like, it's longer than what you would expect an escalator to be like at the mall or whatever. It's like double that. He goes up that one. Then he goes up another one, same thing. Then he walks. He goes up another flight of stairs or another escalator. And then he's still underneath the street at this point. He still has to go up another level to get to the street. And you just think, like, really? Not only were they building all of that, however deep he had to be 300-400 feet deep. They were making it run in all these directions and making it all intercept and running the lines underneath. And this, you know, where did it all come from? There's literally, like, the construction photos always look like they're digging something out. It never looks like they're actually building something. How do they build all those subway tunnels and not spring a leak? Right, underneath. The first supposed underwater tunnel was Thames River Tunnel in Europe. And it went underneath the River Thames, and it was like this. I mean, the narrative is just fucking stupid. It's not one that I can just jump into because there's a lot to it. You know, but like they had to invent things to be able to do it. And they just did. And then at one point, the tunnel springs a leak. And mind you, this is like 1860 or 70. The tunnel springs a leak. So the head designer, the head guy, he goes out, I guess, in a boat and then gets into some sort of submersible where he's lowered down and it has a bunch of sandbags in it. He opens up a hatch on the bottom and throws the sandbags onto the leak. You guys believe that shit? Watch. I'm stupid, right? I don't know what I'm talking about. Thames Tunnel measures 35 feet wide. 35 feet wide. 20 feet high. And is 1,300 feet or 400 meters long. It's 11 meters wide and 6 meters high for those in the other countries. Running at a depth of 75 feet or 23 meters below the river's surface. 75 feet below the deep river. The river's deep as shit already. Here, inside the Thames Tunnel, mid-19th century. Oh, here's a banquet inside the Thames Tunnel by George Jones in 1827. Well, the tunnel wasn't done yet. Why do rich people like to have banquets and tunnels and shit? And what are we fucking talking about here? What are these light sources? What the fuck is going on here? This is 1827. Okay. At the start of the 19th century, there was a pressing need for a new land connection between the north and south banks of the Thames to link the expanding docks on each side of the river. The engineer Ralph Dodd tried but failed to build a tunnel between Gravesend and Tilbury in 1799. And of course, we always hear about these failures. So is this the only failure? Are we saying only this time did somebody try to do it and failed? There were no other attempts that needed to be told to us? Between 1805 and 1809, a group of Cornish miners, including Richard Trevithick, tried to dig a tunnel further upriver between Rotherley and Rapping Limehouse, but failed because of the difficult conditions of the ground and because it was 1805. The Cornish miners were used to hard rock and did not modify their methods for soft clay and quicksand. Boy, they were pretty fucking stupid, weren't they? This Thames Archway project was abandoned after the initial pilot tunnel, a driftway, flooded twice when 1,000 feet of the total 1,200 feet had been dug. So they made it 1,000 feet and it flooded. They only had 200 more feet to go, and they didn't think, well, let's drain this and try. They were capable of doing it, but they weren't capable of draining it. Oh, yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. It only measured 2 to 3 feet by 5 feet and was intended as a drain for a larger tunnel for passenger use. I mean, I don't know, 2 to 3 feet wide and 5 feet tall? Is that what they're saying? How would you even do that? 2 to 3 feet is like, basically my shoulders. Little bit wider than my shoulders if you're going 3 feet. Are you fucking kidding me? The failure of the Thames Archway project led engineers to conclude that an underground tunnel is impractical. Because, in 1800 whatever, they thought they were at the pinnacle of civilization. They were like, there's no way people are ever going to be more advanced than we are. Makes sense, doesn't it? The Anglo-French engineer Marc Brunel refused to accept this conclusion. In 1814, he proposed to Emperor Alexander I of Russia a plan to build a tunnel under the river Neva in St. Petersburg. Right, again, because having a fucking luncheon to propose tunnels to European, or to Emperor Alexander I of Russia, yeah, dude, everybody was doing that shit. You just got on your horseback and you just fucking rode on in and you were like, hey, I got this great idea. Can I speak to the emperor? And he was like, sure. This scheme was turned down. A bridge was built instead, and Brunel continued to develop ideas for new methods of tunneling. The Thames Tunnel Act of 1824, the long title, an act for making and maintaining a tunnel under the River Thames from some place in the parish of St. John of Rapping in the county of Middlesex to the opposite shore of the said river in the parish of St. Marie Rotherthy in the county of Surrey with sufficient approaches thereto. The government of the time, the Whigs in their big fucking building, were like, we need a Thames River Tunnel Act. Now the Thames Tunnel Company Act of 1828, the long title, an act for enabling the Thames Tunnel Company to raise a further sum of money and for the amending of the act relating to the said tunnel. The Royal Assess on May 23rd, 1828. So, of course, and here's the Parliament of the UK, because, of course, they got unicorns and shit. Why wouldn't you have a unicorn in your fucking coat of arms? You want people to take you seriously, don't you? You better put a unicorn in that bitch. This thing is like a coat of arms inside a coat of arms inside a coat of arms inside a coat of arms. Look at that shit. 1, 2, 3. I mean, it's got multiple. There are multiple. There's no way I could sit here and begin to tell you what all of that symbolism meant. You got lions and unicorns, and you got griffins, you got Tartaria shit going on in here. Unicorns? Fucking unicorns? They didn't have the technology to do bridges back then. They didn't know how to do suspension bridges back then. So they definitely do the old London Bridge, which was the most incredible fucking thing ever. But they couldn't do suspension bridges. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. A goddamn unicorn with its fucking tongue sticking out and shit. With sharp ass hooves. Maybe that's that doesn't look like a horse body per se. Looks like a different type of griffin. Just like the lion looks like a different, and the lion's the real king, of course. Right? So how did they have that picture from the Thames Tunnel from 1827 if the Thames Tunnel Company Act of 1828 was them, deciding to do it? The Thames Tunnel Company Act of 1833, an act to amend the acts relating to the Thames Tunnel Company and to extend the powers thereby given for raising money for the completion of the said tunnel. Why did they have to raise money for it? I mean, this is fucking stupid. So, luckily, Brunel patented the tunneling shield, a revolutionary advance in tunneling technology, in January of 1818. In 1823, Brunel produced a plan for the tunnel between Rotherthy and Rapping, which would be dug using his new shield. Financing was soon found from private investors, including the Duke of Wellington, and the Thames Tunnel Company was formed by the Thames Tunnel Act of 1824. The project began in February of 1825. Okay, so they were able to get a little bit of the ways in. That's why they were able to have such a nice little dinner party. You want to talk crazy, you got to put on your tinfoil hat. Them's the rules, right? Okay, so the first step of the construction of the large shaft of the south bank of Rotherhithe, 150 feet back from the riverbank. It was dug by assembling an iron ring 50 feet in diameter above the ground. A 5-story iron ring. Where did they get all this iron from? What was the foundry from back then? A brick wall 40 feet high and 3 feet thick was built on top of this with a powerful steam engine surmounting it to drive the excavation's pumps. Oh yeah, those powerful pump steam engines back then. The whole apparatus was estimated to weigh 1,000 long tons or 1,120 short tons. Add 3 zeros, you're talking about, a lot of fucking weight. Like 3 million pounds or some shit. What's that work out to be? Times 2,000, so 2, and then you add the 3 zeros. So that'd be 2 million fucking plus pounds. That's how much it weighed. The soil below the ring's sharp lower edge was removed manually by Brunel's workers. The whole shaft thus gradually sank under its own weight, slicing through the soft ground like a pastry cutter. Okay, let me read it to you in a different way and see if it makes any sense. The whole shaft was thus gradually sank under its own weight, slicing through the soft ground like a pastry cutter. Oh, yeah, it sounds like some of their bullshit, doesn't it? Yep. While I'm looking at another thing and reading it, I'm also deleting comments. I'm fucking good like that, yo. The shaft became stuck at one point during its sinking, as the pressure of the earth around it held it firmly in position. Extra weight was required to make it continue its descent. 50,000 bricks were added as temporary weights. 50,000. 50,000 bricks. They just had 50,000 bricks made from the brick factory that then shipped the bricks to them, and they unloaded it with their cranes and stuff, right? This is what it's supposed to have looked like. Now we were real close to having cameras back then, but apparently this is what it looked like. I thought it wasn't 3, it was 5, right? Because the people back then were a lot shorter than we are. And this thing looks like it's pretty snug on the people. And they said it was 50 feet. So that's 5 stories, not 3 stories. But think about what it takes to fabricate all of this steel, all of this everything that's supposedly being used in this drawing with the lights. Imagine lighting that bitch. How would you light that shit? You couldn't have a flame source because it would be full of it would be full of soot. It'd be really hard to breathe. It would take up the oxygen. It's not like there's a cross draft bringing the oxygen through. You're saying this is 75 feet below the fucking surface of the water, or below the bottom of the water, I mean. Which, again, how would you even know that? What was the 1800s, early 1800s tech that allowed them to map the seafloor of the River Thames while also knowing how deep the water actually penetrated? Because it would be pretty fucked up if you dug down and say you were 50 feet and, the water was leaking or some shit. But here you got their big light source, their wheelbarrows, they're putting their bricks in, they're building tunnels. It kind of looks like they're excavating, doesn't it? Doesn't it look like they're pulling shit out and getting it out of there? Again, where does this tunnel lead to? What the fuck is that? That's off to the side. Here's a scale model of the tunneling shield at the Brunel Museum. Oh, here we go. This is just a scale model. Look at the little people at the bottom. They're pushing this thing somehow. With all the bricks and the ironworks and ooh, look at the pointies on it. Oh yeah. Totally makes sense. When you're digging a tunnel under the fucking ground, that's what you want to do. The tunneling shield built at Henry Maudsley Lambeth Works and assembled in Rotherhithe Shaft was the key to Brunel's construction of the Thames Tunnel. The Illustrated London News described how it worked. Here you go. The mode in which this great excavation, interesting, was accomplished was by means of a powerful apparatus termed a shield, consisting of 12 great frames lying close to each other like as many volumes on the shelf of a bookcase, and divided into 3 stages or stories, thus presenting 36 chambers of cells, each for one workman, and open to the rear. The 36 chambers! Oh shit! This whole time they've been trying to tell us about that. But closed in the front with movable boards. The front was placed against the earth to be removed, and the workmen, having removed one board, excavated the earth behind it to the depth directed, and placed the board against the new surface exposed. The board was then in advance of the cell, and was kept in its place by props. By fucking props! It's props. Those little guys were pushing that huge chunk of steel as they built it. Yeah, dude, what the fuck? They were pushing it, and it also was really heavy, so it went through the thing by itself. It basically just dug itself because of its own weight. It didn't sink down. It sank in a perfect tunnel direction. And then when it got to the one point, and they had to go back up, it was like, imagine what it would be like to go back up. Because it's got to go down and then come up, right? To sort of cradle the riverbed. And having thus proceeded with all of the boards, each cell was advanced by 2 screws, one at its head and the other at its foot, which, resting against the finished brickwork, because, they used that quick-drying mortar back then that was able to dry very quickly while in an underground chasm that would have to be full of all sorts of moisture. Impelling it forward into the vacant space. Yeah, it wasn't the guys pushing it. It was the screw things. The other set of divisions then advanced as the miners worked on one end of the cell, so bricklayers formed at the top, sides, and bottom. Yeah, see? Okay, so it's those screws. Although it looks like they're pushing it, it's the screws. Because they would build that finished brickwork. They were just laying brick right beneath the fucking, all those guys. Would imagine this would have taken a long time. Each of the 12 frames of the shield weighed over 7 long tons. Each one weighed 14,000 pounds, 16,000 pounds, whatever the long ton is, I don't know. I know it's a little more. The key innovation of the tunneling shield was its support for the unlined ground in front and around it to reduce the risk of collapses. was its support for the unlined ground in front and around it to reduce the risk of collapses. Yeah, because, you know, there was only a fucking river up above it. However, many workers, including Brunel himself, soon fell ill from the poor conditions caused by filthy sewage-laden water seeping through the river above. Right, because the Thames was dirty. All the sewage and nasty, the people just used to supposedly pump all their shit, dump all their shit, whatever, into the river. It was a cesspool. So think about that later when we talk about him going underwater and opening the hatch. Okay, so here, listen to this. The sewage gave off methane gas, which was ignited by the miners' oil lamps. So how did they fucking see? Long ton is 2240. Gotcha. Yeah, so it's like 16,000 pounds. So now we've gotten rid of your hypothesis with the candles. They couldn't have candles. Methane gas. When the resident engineer John Armstrong fell ill in April of 1826, Mark's son Isambard Kingdom Brunel took over at age 20. He just did. He had literally no experience. We don't know where he went to school to learn this, but he was capable of building fucking tunnels. Why not, guys? Why not? 20 years old, you knew who you were at 20. Work was slow, progressing at only 1 to 8 feet per week. To earn income from the tunnel, the company directors allowed sightseers to view the shield in operation. They charged $1 for the adventure, and an estimated 600 to 800 visitors took advantage of the opportunity every day. Yeah? 600 to 800 people were just traveling around Europe at that time and thought, I'm going to go spend money to go look at this death trap. Where did all these people come from? Were they riding horses? Did they park their horses and then go for a... Like, when you look at the paintings of what life was like back then, everybody really seemed to live a great life. Like, idyllic fantasy. I think that these people were, like, they just had I mean, how many people lived in that area? To get 600 to 800 people per day, you're going to have a lot of people coming in from out of town. And what were they coming in on? On the boats that were traveling down the shit-filled Thames? 2,000 is a short ton, never knew. Yeah, I've looked it up before. I just couldn't remember what it was. But that's why I guesstimated, I hate that term, I estimated close. Because I knew it was something like that. All right, this is awesome. The excavation was hazardous. The tunnel flooded suddenly on May 18th, 1827, after 549 feet had been dug. 167 meters. Isambard Kingdom Brunel, the son, the 20-year-old, lowered in a diving bell from a boat to repair the hole at the bottom of the river, throwing bags filled with clay into the breach in the tunnel's roof. Following the repairs and the drainage of the tunnel, he had a banquet inside it. Ugh! How disgustingly stank did that fucker have to be? And at what point did they put the impervious, concrete or whatever substance there is now that doesn't allow leaks? But think about this shit. In a diving bell in 1827? What? And he's at the bottom of the Thames, where it's just shitty and black and deep and dark. He's opening up some sort of hatch and throwing bags of clay into the breach. How did he even know exactly where the breach was? How could they have possibly known where the breach was? Yep, I didn't know it. That's why I guessed basically right on, right? Yep. I couldn't, I had no idea. I just guessed it right. And I even mentioned the short tons and long tons thing. Right. Yep, you got me. I just magically guessed it. The Thames Tunnel excavation. This is, what is this? This is some sort of, I mean, look at this shit. Look at what they're trying to tell you is going on here. Look at the buildings at the top. Now, for some reason, this thing looks a lot bigger than the other thing, doesn't it? And then, of course, the tunnel was for walking. It was for people to walk through the tunnel. It wasn't for, look at all the ships on the water. On an average day, there were that many ships just going around the shit water. So this is supposedly the Thames Tunnel. It's that fucking long. That's a lot bigger than I thought. I know they said they were 150 feet out on one side, but that's pretty significant right there. They dug all that shit out, huh? You can go ahead and look up the rest of it. The entrance to the shaft of the Thames Tunnel. This is what it looked like when it first opened, huh? Because, yeah, that's totally, you build that back then. And it's all just as beautiful as it could possibly be. (1870) view of the trains exiting the Thames Tunnel. That's 1870. The train's going through it. Yep. Can you imagine a train, coal train, pumping out all that fucking smoke? Going through a tunnel just barely big enough to fit it. Everyone would die before the thing made its way out. How would the bags of sand stop the water pressure? It was clay? I don't fucking know. I mean, I suggest you look it up. You know, I suggest you look up the underground, the tunnel in Russia that goes underneath the Trans-Siberian Railroad. I wonder if they adjusted it, because remember I took a picture, and this was the Amur River Tunnel. The 7-kilometer long railroad tunnel had been covered with 5 boards, comma, or space, comma, 3,627 meter long mountainway, space, parenthesis, these faces, end parenthesis, in the eastern sector, 1,350 meters of open way in the western section, and an internal, diameter tunnel, 7,400 mm for underwater. No idea what the fuck this means. Using crushed stone construction of houses and other surface structures carried out by railway troops, period. 900 experts in the primary professionals, 900 experts in the primary professionals, and thousands of local civilian citizens worked directly in the tunnel under the Amur. About 1,500 or about 5,500 people worked only towards construction, quotation, construction number 4, end quote. Comma, the comma is outside of the quotations. A code name. Prisoners working in the Tunguska, and in the New Stone, that's capitalized, New Stone, space, question mark, space, not capitalized, quarried limestone for buildings. The Magnitogorsk plant on the Ural River supplied the iron tubing to line the tunnel. Yeah, the Amur River Tunnel is one of those ones you should look up, because I'd love to know how we built that. I want to see if they fixed it or not, though, because that shit was crazy. The Amur River Tunnel. Let's see the concept. It's up, doop, dop. During the 30s, this shit was built. Work begun in 1837, and it opened in 1931. They were able to build a 7-kilometer, 6-mile long tunnel in 3 years. And a large portion of that 3 years, there were shutdowns of some sort. Oh, sorry, it's only 4.4 miles. My bad. 4.4 mile long tunnel in 3 years. Iron tubing. How long did that last, right? Oh, the shit's still all fucked up, too. The 7-kilometer long tunnel had been covered with 5 boards, question mark. Go look the shit up, man. You guys are more than welcome. I would appreciate it. I would love to hear you guys actually debunk or destroy or do something other than cry about how much you want me to talk to you. That would be so amazing every once in a while, but, you know, this is what you get. I'm actually, good. I'm good today. I know this is shorter than usual. That's what she said. But, I'm not feeling super hot today, so I'm going to go ahead and bounce. You have yourselves a wonderful day. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description, because there's lots of good shit, including the music. www.the-bilderberg.group.com. It's free. All you have, when you click download, it'll ask you how much you want to pay. You click 0 and it's free. Free to you. Give it all away. After you do that, go watch Hollywoodism, the most important film ever made. I told you I wouldn't do it. And then after you watch the most important film ever made that explains to you why you think the way you do, then check out the next link, which is the Israel Hayom Bottom of Darkness article, which also happens to be what the newest song is about. And read that shit. It'll be difficult, but read it. We're going to make it easy for you. Just give us a day. Give us a little bit. Wouldn't even be that long. And then there's a whole bunch of other shit. Links to Havara Agreement, links to Auto Emancipation, links to Team Jorge, act.il, all these different receipts that will show you that it's a lot bigger than you think it is. And it's a lot more simple than you think it is, too. That's the key. That's the key, right? Were the 5 boards plywood or OSB? Well, 5 boards, question mark, whatever the fuck that means. Go check it out. Amur River Tunnel. Anyway, go check everything out so you can come back and tell me how I'm wrong. Have yourself a wonderful day. And you pedophiles. You pedophiles. You kill yourself. Wait for it. Okay.